The gentle closing of the book. If you can, just settle in a little deeper now. Feel the soft contour of the mattress beneath you, a gentle cradle supporting every curve and shadow of your body. Take a quiet moment, right here, and notice how the silence seems to thicken around the edges of the room, promising privacy and peace. Tonight, we aren't looking for a fierce battle against wakefulness. We are simply completing a task, a gentle administrative chore of the mind. Think about the worries that have kept you company, the thoughts that have been turning page after page, in a book that insists on staying open long after the lamp should have been dimmed. This volume, this book of sleep afflictions, has heavy pages, hasn't it? Each one is inscribed with lists, with hypotheticals, with old conversations that keep repeating like a distant, scratchy record. Can you feel its imaginary weight right now? It might rest on your chest, making your breath feel a little shallower, or maybe it sits on the pillow beside you, its pages fluttering with invisible anxieties. It's not a malevolent thing, this book, but it is certainly too much for this quiet hour. It belongs to the bright, buzzing light of day, not to the velvet dark of night. I remember a time when I kept trying to read every last word on those pages, thinking that if I just understood the script perfectly, the story would resolve itself and let me rest. But I learned a quiet secret. The Book of Worries is always being written. Its final page never arrives while you are looking for it. So let's close it together now. Don't slam it shut. There's no need for drama or force. That would just stir up the dust. No, this is a slow, soft movement, like closing a favorite novel that you intend to return to later, perhaps tomorrow, refreshed and ready. In your mind's eye, see your hands, or perhaps just my gentle hand if that feels easier, reaching out to the spine of that volume. Feel the textured cover, maybe a worn leather or a smooth, cool linen. Notice the subtle resistance of the pages as they settle one against the other. As you bring the front cover softly down to meet the back, hear the sound, if there is one. It's not a thud. It's a quiet, barely audible sigh. A final, resigned breath from all those relentless thoughts. Sigh. The book is closed. Now where do we put it? We don't discard it. We just put it away respectfully. Imagine a high, cool shelf in a distant library of the mind. You lift the heavy volume, and it is heavy but only for a moment, and you place it up, far out of reach of your bedside table. It's still there, safe and sound, holding all the concerns that belong to the day. But for tonight, it is simply done. Do you feel that subtle shift? A small pocket of emptiness has opened up where that turning, frantic energy used to be. That empty space is the most precious thing right now. It is your permission to be blank. We don't need to be informed, productive, or worried right now. We only need to be present, held gently by the quiet dark. You have done the work of the day, and now you have done the work of closing the book. It is a quiet victory. Let the memory of its weight simply dissolve from your hands. Allow the silence where the frantic pages used to turn to become a warm, smooth velvet. What a relief it is, isn't it, to simply set the story down mid-sentence and say, that's enough for now. Just rest in that quiet enough. The pages are still. Your mind is beginning to mirror that stillness. Would you like to continue to the next chapter of our story, exploring the architecture of old worries? Or would you prefer to simply rest here for a while? The architecture of old worries. Now that the heavy book is softly closed and resting on its high shelf, what remains? Often, even after the initial effort to quiet the mind, we find little structures still standing. Tiny, intricate buildings of thought, constructed brick by anxious brick throughout the day. These are the old worries, the mental architecture we created when we felt the need to be alert and in control. Settle your head just a little more comfortably into the pillow. Feel the texture of the fabric against your skin. You are safe here, anchored in this moment of quiet warmth. When I used to struggle with sleeplessness, I noticed how creative my mind was. It wasn't just rehashing facts. It was building elaborate, sprawling cities of what if. Have you ever done that? Laid there in the dark and felt like an architect, designing potential disasters or overly complicated solutions to problems that haven't even arrived yet? In the daylight, these structures seem imposing. They are serious, solid, necessary. We polish the windows of our hypothetical arguments and reinforce the foundations of our future fears. We believe they offer us protection. But look at them now, under the strange, silvery light that only exists when the world is sleeping. Imagine that you are standing far away from those structures now, looking back at the cityscape of your mental architecture. What do you notice about it? The walls, which felt so solid during the day, now look a bit like theatrical backdrops. They are thinner than you thought. The mortar holding the bricks of worry together seems to be made of yesterday's ephemeral thoughts that had already begun to crumble by tea time. The whole city is oddly silent. There is no traffic, no bustling activity within the streets of what if I had said, or what if this happens? They are ghost towns, built on speculation and held together by the glue of cortisol. And the roofs, they are made of fragile glass, easily shattered by a single gentle wave of breath. When we are struggling to sleep, we often feel compelled to inspect every room in this worried house, checking the plumbing and the electrical work. We feel responsible for its upkeep. But tonight, let's just observe. There is no need to enter, no need to renovate or destroy. Just stand outside in the quiet night air and acknowledge that this structure was built for a different time, a time when alert problem-solving was required. Now the construction crew has gone home. The blueprints are scattered and illegible in the dark. Can you feel the immense relief of simply observing them without obligation? Notice how the moonlight seems to soften the harsh angles of the most stubborn thought, that high, sharp tower of anxiety. The moonlight makes it look almost beautiful, almost artistic, but entirely non-threatening. It's simply a piece of scenery in the landscape of your mind. The wisdom of the night is this: nothing built during the frantic effort of daytime worry can withstand the simple, non-judgmental approach of the dark. They don't need to be fought. They just need to be viewed as temporary, delicate things. They will remain until the sun rises, ready to be picked up again if you need them. But for these precious, dark hours, you are free to let them stand there, quiet and empty, like ruins from a bygone age. You don't live there anymore. Your true home tonight is the warm, soft, present moment, right here, safe beneath your covers. Let those old walls blur into the background now. They are quiet, they are still, and their stillness is your permission to be still too. The sanctuary of the threshold. Let your attention drift now, away from the closed book and the distant city of old worries. Bring it closer, right to the edges of your awareness, to this beautiful, quiet space we are occupying. We are standing on a threshold. It is the soft line between the land of the conscious and the wide, welcoming sea of sleep. It is not a rigid boundary, but a warm, liminal space, a true sanctuary. When we struggle with rest, we often treat this threshold like a fence we must leap over or a door we must aggressively force open. But the threshold is not a challenge, it is an invitation. It is the moment of softest surrender. I remember lying awake years ago, feeling the intense physical effort of trying to fall asleep. My body would be tired, but my mind was perpetually trying to grasp the process, trying to manage the transition. That trying, that tiny, insistent hand reaching out for control, was the very thing that kept me tethered to the wakeful world. So what if tonight we simply decide to rest on the threshold, not pushing for the other side, but just settling down comfortably right where we are? Imagine this space as a cool, smooth stone bench nestled under the eaves of a quiet temple. You can still hear the distant sounds of the day fading, a car on a wet road, the hum of the refrigerator, the faint whisper of a thought. But they are outside the wall. You are sheltered, safe in the deepest eaves. This is the moment where the mind can truly become a passenger. Think about what you are letting go of right now. You are releasing the need to plan. You are releasing the need to remember. You are releasing the need to even know when sleep will arrive. You are simply agreeing to be still. It is a subtle, profound act of faith, this surrender. It is whispering to the universe, I've done all I can for today. Now I trust the dark to hold me. Feel the muscles around your eyes soften, as if the gaze that was so sharp all day is finally blurring, softening at the edges. Feel your jaw relax, releasing the quiet, persistent tension we carry there from all our silent determinations. This threshold is the only place where true rest begins. It is the space of undoing. We are undoing the firmness of our posture, the grip of our thoughts, the schedule of our daily identity. It's like untying a boat from the dock. We are not sailing yet, but the ropes are slack. The boat is gently nudging the water, ready to float when the current decides to take it. We are not rowing, we are waiting for the gentle current. Take a deep, full breath now, and as you exhale, imagine your body sinking just half an inch deeper into the soft support beneath you. This is what it feels like to fully accept the weight of the moment, the simple, beautiful fact of being held. There is nothing to achieve here, dear listener. The threshold doesn't demand effort. It demands permission. It asks very softly, will you simply rest here for a while, suspended between what was and what will be? Rest. The soft shadows are your blanket. The quiet is your companion. You are perfectly placed. The unfurling of the breath. Now that we have settled into the quiet space of the threshold, let's find our truest anchor in this moment. The breath. Not the frantic upper-chest breathing that sometimes accompanies a busy day or a worried mind, but a slow, deep, natural process, a gentle, rhythmic unfurling. You don't need to do anything to your breath. We are simply becoming its most devoted, quiet witness. Imagine your breath is not just air moving in and out of your body, but a slow, steady, invisible tide. When you draw in a breath, not filling yourself with effort, but allowing the air to simply arrive, it is like a quiet wave cresting. It reaches the furthest, calmest shore inside your belly. And as you let the breath go, slowly, softly, it's the gentle recession of that water, pulling away from the beach, taking with it the scattered shells and pebbles of the day's scattered thoughts. Inhaling, a quiet arrival. Exhaling, a gentle release. I learned years ago that the breath is the one conversation you're always having with the universe, and it's always present, always patient, always right. It doesn't judge the thoughts you had a moment ago or worry about the breath coming next. It is purely, beautifully now. Focus on the physical sensation of the air. Is it a little cooler as it enters your nostrils? Does it feel warm, like a soft, living current as it leaves? There is so much detail in this quiet, repetitive act, enough detail to fill the whole of this night if you let it. Let the out-breath become a profound signal of surrender. It should be just a little longer, a little softer than the in-breath. Think of it as a silent hush settling over your entire being. With every exhale, imagine that you are releasing a tiny bit of tension from your shoulders, your hips, the small muscles around your lips. The breath is our subtle reminder that we are designed for cycles. The day gives way to night. Activity yields to rest. We do not stop the world by breathing in, and we do not vanish by breathing out. We are simply part of the flow. Don't cling to the breath. Don't chase it. If your mind wanders, and it will, like a small, curious child leaving the room, just gently bring your awareness back to the sensation of the tide. No frustration, no correction, just the soft, patient return to the rhythm. In, out. This steady, unwavering presence of your breath becomes the soothing sound in the deep quiet of the room. It is the hum of the infinite, the sound of your body giving itself permission to deeply, fundamentally rest. It is like watching a slow current smooth out the wrinkles in a soft, dark fabric. With every out-breath, the fabric of your consciousness is laid a little flatter, a little smoother, preparing for the quiet patterns of the dream state to emerge. Allow yourself to be lulled now. You are anchored to this quiet rhythm. You are held by this gentle tide. Everything else is simply drifting out to sea, the weight of the blanket, the lightness of being settled deeper into the quiet of your breath now, letting that rhythmic tide gently cradle you. As the mind begins to slow and soften, we turn our attention entirely to the body, noticing the beautiful paradox of rest, the feeling of being heavily anchored and simultaneously becoming impossibly light. Focus on the blanket or duvet resting over you. Feel its substance. It might be warm, thick, or perhaps just a cool, smooth sheet. But whatever its texture, it provides a quiet, protective pressure. This pressure is a profound comfort. It is the physical manifestation of safety, a gentle assurance that you are contained, held, and guarded against the vastness of the empty room. Think of this warmth and weight not as a burden, but as a deliberate grounding. It is your tether to the here and now. I remember one chilly night years ago when I was completely unable to relax. I felt scattered, my thoughts darting everywhere. I finally pulled my heaviest wool blanket over me, and the instant heavy pressure felt like a hand pressing gently down on my busy chest. It wasn't oppressive, it was authoritative. It whispered, "Stop moving, stop struggling. You are weighted, you are safe." Allow your body to sink fully into that weighted feeling. Let your hips feel heavy. Let your shoulders melt like soft wax against the mattress. Give all your weight, the effort you carried all day, the decisions you held in your posture, to the bed beneath you. Now notice the contrast. While the body feels heavy, solid, and wonderfully held, the mind is beginning to feel an exquisite lightness. This is the moment when the thinking part of you starts to feel untethered, like a single quiet balloon floating up from the heavy anchor of the body. The thoughts that were so loud and demanding just an hour ago are now tiny, fading specks on the horizon. They don't have the weight of consequence anymore. They are just wisps, momentary clouds drifting across the deep, dark sky of your awareness. We are shedding the burden of self, not the wonderful you, but the functional, worrying, problem-solving identity that daytime requires. That part is now floating away, unburdened, unnecessary. You are simply pure presence now. A quiet, held awareness. The weight of the blanket keeps the boat anchored. The lightness of your mind allows the sail to slacken and the journey to pause. You are fully supported, fully at ease. Heavy below, light above. Embrace this lovely stillness. Feel how perfectly safe and enclosed you are in this moment. The gravity of the earth holds your body, and the quiet acceptance of the night releases your mind. You are moving towards the deep, soft center of rest. The memory of deep rest. Now that the body is heavy and the mind is growing light, let's turn our attention inward, seeking a deep, familiar comfort. We are not trying to force sleep to happen right now. Instead, we are gently inviting the feeling of being deeply rested, calling upon a quiet memory. Think back to a time. It doesn't have to be recent or even entirely distinct. When you woke up feeling utterly, perfectly restored. It was that feeling when the light seemed cleaner, the air felt fresher, and your body felt buoyant and reset, as if you had been gently recalibrated by the night. Do you remember that deep, unshakable peace? It's not about the details of that day, it's about the quality of that rest. It was a sleep so profound that it felt like a silent journey to a quiet, deep well and a complete, nourishing drink of fresh water. We often think of sleep as a future goal, something we must earn or achieve, but tonight, let's treat it as a gentle, beloved memory that we are simply welcoming back into our present moment. Allow your mind, which is soft and unbound now, to drift towards that feeling. Where did that rest reside in your body? Was it a warmth behind your eyes, a profound stillness in your chest, a complete slackness in your hands and feet? It is the sense of deep integration, where mind and body, finally, agreed to stop arguing and simply melt into one restful current. Imagine you are wearing that feeling now, like a familiar, perfectly soft garment. You are wrapping yourself in the knowledge that your body knows exactly how to do this. You have done it countless times before. This deep, quiet capacity for restoration is not lost. It is just waiting patiently for the mind to step aside. When you remember that deep rest, there is no striving in it. There is only being. There is only the peaceful, automatic continuation of the flow. Let the memory of that effortless, heavy surrender wash over you. It is a comforting truth. Your rest is inevitable. It is your natural state, waiting beneath the surface of today's scattered effort. This memory is your quiet proof. It's a gentle hum of assurance that everything required for deep rest is already within you. You don't need instructions. You only need permission to recall the wisdom of the body. Just breathe into that memory. Now, and let the echoes of that perfect morning, the unburdened feeling, the silent strength, begin to mingle with the quiet of this very moment. You are simply resting in the possibility of that deep peace now. You are inviting that profound stillness back home. The distant lighthouse. We are settled deeply now, held by the soft weight of the covers and guided by the rhythm of our breath. In this quiet, darkest hour, sometimes the mind tries to peek ahead, asking, how much longer until morning? We worry about the passage of time, feeling the pressure to use the night efficiently. But let's release that worry about the clock now. The night is not a span of time to be managed. It is a profound, quiet experience to be surrendered to. Instead of focusing on the clock, look out into the deep, imaginative dark of your quiet mind. Imagine a vast, calm ocean at night. You are floating gently on this sea, rocking softly with the subtle currents of your breath. Everything is dark, smooth, and deeply peaceful. You are not striving to swim to shore or race to the horizon. You are simply floating. But far, far in the distance, you can perceive a light. It is steady, slow, and unwavering. This is the distant lighthouse. It is the silent, unshakable promise of morning. It is not yet required, but its presence is a profound comfort. It means that renewal is inevitable. The sun will rise. The daylight will return. This lighthouse is not calling you to wake up or hurry. Its light is not a demanding beam, but a soft, circular message. I am coming. You do not need to wait for me. You can rest. This quiet light allows you to release the feeling of guarding the transition to morning. You don't need to stay awake to make sure the world begins again. You can trust that the process is already underway, far off on the horizon. Think of the patience of that light. It is steady, slow, perhaps turning its beam gently, illuminating the vast dark for only a few moments at a time. It knows its job is simply to be. Similarly, your job right now is simply to be. To rest in the quiet certainty that your energy will be restored and that time will move forward regardless of your conscious effort. This light offers a gentle philosophy. When you are held in the quiet dark, you are not trapped. You are simply preparing for the inevitable beauty of the dawn. The light of renewal is guaranteed. So, let your focus settle back from the horizon. back into the immediate soft warmth of your bed. The light is visible, but far away. Your job is here, in the dark, in the quiet, in the deep comfort of being held. Feel the tension lift from your brow. You are not the keeper of the day. You are simply the beloved of the night. Rest in the knowing, rest in the quiet. The distance between you and that light is your sweet opportunity for deep, profound surrender. The final, soft surrender. We have closed the heavy book of worries, observed the architecture of old anxieties, settled onto the peaceful threshold, anchored ourselves to the unfurling breath, and been grounded by the soft weight of the blanket. Now, we are standing at the final edge. This is the moment where we let go of the last faint threads of self-awareness. It is not an active step, it is a gentle dissolving. Imagine your consciousness as a single, beautifully sculpted piece of ice floating in a vast, warm, dark lake. All night, it has been subtly warming, smoothing its sharp edges. Now it is time for the final melt. There is no need to hold on to the last flicker of thought, that small, persistent voice that says, "I am awake," or "I am trying to sleep." Let that voice soften until it is just a whisper and then a gentle silence. This surrender is complete trust. It is handing your entire being over to the deep current of the night, knowing that you will be carried safely. It is the body saying, "I am here. I am safe. Do with me what you will." Feel the space behind your eyes become heavy and warm. Feel the tips of your fingers and toes grow completely indistinct from the covers that surround them. The boundary between you and the quiet dark is blurring. You are not forcing the dream to come. You are simply stepping out of the way. It is like stepping out of a slow-moving, gentle stream and onto the cool, mossy bank, then realizing that the bank itself is moving, and you are being carried forward. Anyway, the effort is gone. The struggle is done. Breathe one last, deep, comfortable breath, allowing the exhale to be the longest, softest sound you have made all day. With that exhale, release any remaining identity of the one who needs to sleep. You are simply a resting being. The current is deep now, warm and utterly peaceful. Allow yourself to be pulled down, down, down into the velvety, quiet depths. You are perfectly supported by everything beneath you, and perfectly held by the silence around you. Let the final image of your day be the soft, beautiful darkness welcoming you home. No thought is important enough to keep you on the surface now. Softly, deeply, peacefully, drift.